Start. Why is it doing that? Hey guys, you can probably hear us, but you probably can't see us, and I'm not really sure why. Oh hey, there's. It would help if I plugged the.
I have grown so much as a person coming in as an 18-year-old and didn't know just out of high school, and I haven't really.
I'm getting ads on your stream.
I don't think I would have.
I'm sorry.
Had I not gone into manufacturing.
Oh my gosh.
It's definitely been one of the best decisions that I've ever made, and I can't be more thankful for the people that I've met because of it.
This is so frustrating. Come on. There we go.
I was wondering how that was going to work.
Yeah, because I never plugged this stinking thing in. It really, really helped when you plug the camera in. No, stop that.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Twitch Rivals. I can't believe it.
All right, stop. People can hear it. It's going to be confusing.
Typical sellout.
All right.
Get these ads on your video.
How is I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
This sounds good.
Yeah, it does sound good. So, last time we did a live stream. Well, it was just me last time, and then Jameson stepped in at the very end. And the microphone setting, I told Jameson, like, I didn't know it sounded so awful until after it was over and, like, it had uploaded for me to, like, go back and, like, rewatch it and stuff. And I was watching it in, like, complete and utter horror, wondering why anybody had stayed around, like, at all, because it sounded so incredibly bad. So I'm very sorry about that. I do have a better lens for this purpose set up on this now. My other lens is a pancake lens. It was just getting a little bit too close and it wasn't focusing very well. So anyway, enough of that. So anyway, we have orange juice, not coffee, not dinner, because we get our coffee from a company called Grounds and Hounds. And for some reason, FedEx has lost our shipment. And I'm very mad because there's three bags of coffee in that shipment, as along with some Chemex filters. So
worth a small fortune, I might add.
It's not. I mean, it's not cheap coffee. That's one of the things that we splurge on here. So anyway, and then
we still have Hush Puppy. I didn't bother to brew myself some, but
yeah, you
should have.
You can if you want to go do it
and miss out on all the fun.
Yeah, you have to be my mod. We get some weird people here sometimes, guys. It's always a lot of fun. So, I guess, go ahead. I mean, read me some questions, Jameson. It's easier when you pick them out because it's really hard for me sometimes, guys, when the chat is scrolling. I'll try to read comments and then I'll lose my train of thought, trying to read more of them. So it's easier when he is here to help me.
Okay. So we have a question. When did you get your first rabbit? I guess you could answer twofold. You could answer, when did Teal Stone Homestead start? With the rabbits, and when did you get your very first rabbit? The very first rabbit you ever had. And this going back years and years.
Yeah, it really does. So my very first rabbit was actually, I don't even know how many years ago, but I think it was 9 or 10. If my mom is in the chat, then she could possibly let you know because she likes to watch these sometimes. But she brought home a pregnant mini lop. Actually, I think that she brought home the buck and the doe, and it was a fun little Easter thing that she was trying to do for my brother and I. So she brought them home, and then they had babies. And so that was, I kept one of the babies. And so he was my very first, I named him Cottonwood. And so he was my very first rabbit ever, basically. And I was 10 years old or something like that. So that was my very first rabbit ever. And then that evolved into 4-H and whatnot, got into Dutch rabbits as a whole thing until I was 18 years old. But Teal Stone, when I first got rabbits for Teal Stone, it was in 2019. So I kind of just restarted in 2019 after, going to college and getting married and getting a house and all the life things happen. And I'm I'm getting back into rabbits. So that is exactly what I did. So that's kind of the whole backstory of when I first got rabbits for Teal Stone and then when I very, very first got rabbits.
All right. Thank you, Honey Bunny, for the question. We have another one from Lexi Cooper. Which silver fox had a litter first?
Hollyhock. So I had
Oh, the OG.
yeah, OG Hollyhock, and I
Or
actually
OB, I guess.
I still get updates. Hollyhock is no longer here. Hollyhock is no longer here, but she is with a 4-H family that is semi-local to us. So I still get updates on her, and she is doing really, really well. And she is a wonderful mama. I do miss her a lot.
All right. I guess. Okay. Childress Creek Rabbitry. I thought you had a. It's like you had a question. It was redacted and then edited, I guess. When did you first hear about silver rabbits? Silver fox?
Foxes?
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, I've always known about them because when you're in 4-H and stuff like that, like one of the first things that they like to teach you is like all the breeds, so like all the recognized breeds and stuff. So I've read about them basically my whole life, but I never decided to delve into them until I saw my friend Sarah here on YouTube. She is Open Gate Farmstead, and she got silver foxes, and she made a video about them. And like I just from her video, I was seeing like how calm they were and everything, and I just kind of fell in love with them right there. But like also just the density of their fur, like they have fur that's like unlike any other rabbit breed in the entire ARBA. Like their fur is standing fur. It's very dense, and it's unlike any other rabbit. So that's why I decided to get into them, because we want a dual purpose. The main reason that we got back into them is for meat, but then as we started progressing, I started falling back into my obsession of showing, which is not a bad thing. It's like ingrained into me. Like it's like one of my passions. So started getting back into showing, and then we wanted to do pelts and stuff like that as well. So
All right. Brandon says, "How are the quail chicks doing?" I'd go get one, but I'm afraid they'd fly away.
Yeah, they're doing so good. We have actually not lost any of them. I don't think we've had a single casualty.
Besides the ones that didn't hatch.
Yeah, besides the ones that didn't make it out, or we had one that was like almost made it out, but he died inside of the egg and stuff. So other than that, though, we have like 27 chicks out there. Like they're doing really, really well. I just gave them a big willow branch yesterday, and they loved that. I gave them a cucumber because Kristen from Whiskey Tango Farm said that they would love cucumbers, and they did. They ate the entire inside of it, but they wouldn't eat the skin. So they're doing really well.
Which dog did you get first? It would be that huggable bug over there. You can't see him, but that'd be Ronan.
Yeah, Ronan is currently upside down.
Got him in Kentucky, and we got this one in Georgia about a year later.
Hello.
Hello. Do you prefer fancy or basic rabbits as pets? I have a mini lop, Rex mix, and 6 Rexes. So I guess what rabbit classifies as fancy? I always figure the ones that are fancy are the ones with the dense fur.
You mean like Angoras and stuff? Like fancier rabbits, I guess, like Angoras, your pet breeds. So like fuzzy lops, which someday I'll get into those. But anyway, like lion heads and stuff like that, those are fancier breeds. I think that's what you're asking. I really like fancier breeds. I used to do Dutch, like I said. I would kind of put them like right in the middle because they can be really good meat rabbit. I never used them as meat rabbits, but I really wanted to. So they could be either or. So either a fancier or a meat breed. Like some of them are just dual purpose.
Okay, so we have a question regarding, I guess, health. What do I do when my Netherland doe has a false pregnancy, but her fur is still loose and coming off?
Is she molting? Like I know a lot of people, for some reason, say that like when a rabbit is pregnant, their fur starts getting looser. I don't really notice that, to be honest with you. Like I don't know if that is. I don't want to say that it's factual, like, because I've never really noticed that their fur gets looser. And I would say that if it's her fur is falling out, then she's probably just molting. But if she's having a false pregnancy, I mean, if it's been as hot where you are as it has been here, then I really wouldn't doubt it because it's been so hot and heat can make bucks temporarily sterile. So if she was bred, then maybe she thought she was, but she actually wasn't because maybe your buck was sterile if he was in the heat. So that could have been a cause for it. But if she's got loose fur, then I would just say that she's molting. That would be what I would think anyway, unless I'm misunderstanding.
You ever run into a would-be mama that died because she was pregnant with babies? Like, do they die from having litters?
There can be complications from having babies, but sometimes it can also be coincidental. So maybe there was something wrong with her to begin with and you just didn't know. But I mean, they can definitely have complications if you breed a tiny little doe to a really big buck, that can present complications because the kits can be too big for her to actually give birth to. Sometimes rabbits just have problems and a kit gets stuck in like the birth canal, and it can cause them to die. I've actually had that happen here. You remember that actually. Yep. Very tragic. So I mean, there can definitely be stuff that goes wrong. And I don't know. It really is situational though. Like sometimes it's coincidental. Sometimes it is because they were pregnant. So it really depends on the certain situation. And I would have to know more details, I guess, to say anything definite on that.
Oh, we got a cricket fan. How's Cricket doing?
Cricket is doing good. And I am actually considering showing her in Lebanon. So we'll see if I actually do. But I'm also thinking about putting her up for sale because I'm thinking about keeping one of her little baby does. But also I'm not entirely sure yet. She might be, but she's doing really well. And her babies are still pudgy and I love them. So they're very sweet.
All right. We don't have a lot of questions, but we do have some shout outs. Donna says she loves watching your videos and giving her, I believe, so many ideas.
Yay.
Why don't you tell us what ideas they gave you? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they're ideas that we can steal from you.
We do a lot of building around here and innovating. I never stop.
Haley Boone had a crazy story for us a little bit ago. She said, I know you guys have quail. Well, I went to go out and feed my rabbits yesterday, came back to get more food, and saw 3 wild baby quail. They were on the steps and they went behind the house.
Oh, wow.
And they went under the back porch. I don't know if I've ever seen a wild quail.
I don't know where they are. Like, where do they live? Like, what geographic location? I don't think I've ever seen one here in Indiana.
I mean,
I feel like they're quail. Like, are they like Arizona and stuff like that? Like,
I have no idea.
I feel like they'd be little desert birds. If Brandon is still here, he would probably.
Well, I mean, if you think about the Israelites eating quail and manna for 40 years, then yeah in the desert, probably.
Yeah. So maybe they're like more of like in the desert. Yeah, if Brandon's still here, maybe he knows where they live, like geographically. I have no clue.
Another question from Lexi. Which boy did you get first? Maybe boy rabbit?
Boy rabbit, probably. The very first buck that I got, I named him Cole, and he's in... Ew, there's a fly. He is in one of my very first videos on silver foxes. He was actually a Cole rabbit. So Cole meaning I went to a show and the breeder was getting ready to send him with the Cole buyer. And I was like, no, I want him because I was like desperately wanting silver foxes. So, and he looked really nice to me. So you could, I guess, say that I started my rabbitry with a Cole rabbit, I guess. But yeah, his name was Cole. That's really confusing. I'm sorry. A Cole buyer was going to take Cole. That sounds really confusing. Coal was his name. But yeah, let's see, who did he have? Actually, Cricket's parents were Bella and Cole. So Cricket is out of Cole. And Cricket has 2 legs, so I mean, not too shabby for being born out of a coal buyer rabbit.
Monica says there's wild quail in Arizona. So you're right.
Hey, I for some reason Arizona came to mind. I have no idea why. It's just a sandy place. Well, I think of sand, but I think of like sand and like desert when I think of Arizona.
All right, we'll just combine these two watchers' questions. How's Solstice and how is Chai?
Solstice is doing really well, I believe. She's with a new family now. So she's not been here for I think 2 months now. So I think 2 months ago maybe I sold her to a very nice family, and they're super sweet people. So I'm really glad that she went with them. And Chai is doing really well. She is frustrated right now because her babies will not leave her alone, and they are almost 8 weeks old. So actually, Chai will be going to a new family in Lebanon. In Lebanon, I'll be giving Chai to a friend. So in a week and a half, a little less than a week and a half, Chai will be going to Kentucky. So Chai will be moving on, and her daughter Twix is actually going to be taking her place. I love Twix, and I need to show her more, but she's a little bit flighty, but she's very pretty. So I'm excited about her, and I'm trying to hold her more and like give her more like free time and stuff like that. But yeah, she's a nice little doe. Nice little doe to continue our chocolate line.
All right. Brandon chimed in with some quail facts. I guess bobwhite quail are all over the United States. California quail are on the West Coast.
Nice.
As opposed to the East Coast, where California is definitely not. Coturnix quail, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but it's imported from Asia. I don't know what kind of quail we have really.
Coturnix or Coturnix or...
I like Coturnix better. It kind of rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, I like it too. But Brandon is Whiskey Tango. He's Kristen's husband.
Oh, okay.
In case you weren't aware of that. Ronan, you look so done right now. I wish I could show you guys Ronan's face.
Honeybee says, do you ever hand raise rabbits? If you do you have some suggestions? We got a ton of accidental litters this year, 4 to be exact.
Separate your bunnies.
4 accidental litters.
How does that happen? Man, they're either mature.
Shame on you,
no.
first of all. And the last ending in the mama dying, and we had to hand raise them.
I'm sorry about that.
Okay, so any suggestions on how to hand raise?
Hand raising is really tough, and I'm not sure if I've ever successfully done it, to be honest with you. There's a lot of videos on YouTube about how to bottle feed rabbits. There's one video in particular about tube feeding rabbits, and I actually tried to follow that video with a little cream baby here several months back, but I don't think I did it right, and it did not end up making it. So I honestly, I don't think that I'd feel very comfortable giving you advice on something that I've not been successful at. So the best thing I can do, like I have little Underdog out there who's actually doing really, really well. He's that little runt that I showed in one of my last videos. But the way that I helped him along is that I kept taking Chai out every single night and letting him nurse as much as that he wanted. Because he was so small, I was afraid that all of his litter mates were like fighting him off and he wasn't getting to any of the nipples. And so I was like helping him along there. Chai wasn't very happy with me, but Underdog is alive and he is doing really well. So I can tell you that's how I help the little ones, but that does require a mama rabbit. So again, I'm not really sure what guidance I can give on that particular thing. But that's another reason why I like to breed more than one rabbit at once, for sure. So yeah, I always like to have a mom lined up so I can foster over.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I was just seeing that somebody's comment was censored just because of the probably the word missexed.
They
But Yeah, just real quick. We don't usually like to grant attention to attention seekers on the stream, especially with inappropriate comments. But we had some user that acted like it was the emergency broadcast system announcing the purge.
What?
So I removed them, but it gets funnier because somebody else in like a couple minutes put the same message in Spanish.
What the heck? How do you know?
So two users, because like I saw words in Spanish that looked like it was announcing the purge.
That's hilarious. Well, the purge is not happening. Wait, there's Japanese.
Like
now.
I can view the deleted messages. Esto no es una prueba. Ese es su sistema de radiofusión. De emergencia que anuncia el comienzo de la guerra. Anula sancionada por el gobierno de los Estados Unidos. It's just like, I wish that was the national purge notification.
That's awesome.
But we have
so many people here. I'm so excited, you guys.
I know, 30 now.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's
Awesome
hanging out with you, especially. I'm trying to make more videos lately. Can you tell? I'm trying to get a vlog up next week as well. I want to do one video a week. Sometimes it's really hard having a full-time job and the YouTube thing. That is also, it takes up so much of my time. And then between YouTube and full-time work, I actually do have to take care of all the animals here and like clean up after everybody and whatnot. So my days are very busy, but I live for it.
And I'll go ahead and answer a question from Monica. She missed the first part of this, so it was not already asked. She wanted to know about the bees. So we both want to be fruitful with the bees. We both want to be successful. The problem we're having is that every time we check them for a couple days afterward, instead of working like they should be, they are fixed on attacking her and the dogs and the animals. And Ari gets stung every 2 weeks for like a couple days at a time because of it. And
she has really bad reactions too.
So our hive is not a big fan of us, and we're doing everything right.
We've heard that our hive is just a very angry hive because of the queen. So we've heard that like depending on what queen you have, she dictates like how everybody acts. So apparently she likes to set off the alarm pheromone a lot, and she's just a really nasty queen.
And we're beginner first year beekeepers, so we're not going to do something stupid like kill the queen. I don't think that's the answer. Okay.
Yeah.
So what instead we're doing is actually this weekend, we're moving them to her parents' backwoods.
Yeah. So my parents live on over 14 acres. And they have agreed to let us move the bees into the woods there. So the bees will be very happy there. Nothing will bother them, and they'll be far away from houses. And so we're very happy about that. And, you know, guys, like a couple of days after we check the hives, they do go back to being nice and calm. I can walk next to the hive and nothing happens. But again, it's just like living on, for context, our land here is 0.37 acres. So it's very, very small. And even when they're not angry, we have gotten stung just because there's bees everywhere. That we have a really, like, I feel like our hive has like gotten huge. Like,
oh yeah, I feel like there's not enough room to hold them all.
So we really need, I mean, I feel like we really need to do like a split or something and get like another hive, but like we're so new, and I feel like it's a lot. And I'm also like always stressed out that they're going to swarm and go to like our neighbors' backyards, or
we live in the suburbs.
Yeah, we live in the suburbs. So it's like, it's one of those things where like I really wanted it to work out here, but I feel like somebody more experienced would be better at making it work in the suburbs, not necessarily us. So being out in the country, I just feel like it's a better option for them. So we are moving them on Friday. It's not going to be a video because we are going to be in the dark, and I already feel like this tomorrow night is just going to be pure chaos. So we'll see how it goes. But
all right,
they are moving.
We got 2 compliments here from Gold Eye Wolf. Just got my Silver Fox kits. They are a pair. I love them. Thank you so much for making me fall in love with the breed.
They are amazing.
The farm show in my area just got recognized Blue Silver Fox.
They're not, I mean, they're not a recognized variety yet. But some fairs and shows, because they have a COD, they have an open COD, which is a certificate of development. So sometimes you can show them under exhibition type of conditions, I guess. You can't win legs with them. And you can't like grand them or register them or anything like that. But you can show them sometimes under exhibition. So they are really fun though. I love the blue ones. I actually really like lilac though. I'm very partial to lilac. But hopefully we will be seeing blues get accepted within the next several years. I think possibly chocolates by the end of the fall, depending on if they pass a convention. So I would love that so much. I would love to see chocolates on the show table because I really like the chocolates a lot.
Okay, and I guess oh, well, I thought I had another compliment to share. That's okay. That's fine. Just looking for some other questions. We actually had a lot before we started talking about the bees, so sorry to take that detour.
We do try to get to most of the comments. It's really hard sometimes, guys, so bear with us.
Would you ever get Holland Lops?
I think Holland Lops are very cute, but before Holland Lops, I would consider Fuzzy Lops, like American Fuzzy Lops, because they're so cute. And my friend Christy right now has like a super fuzzy, like broken tort. Like, I think it's a Holland Lop, but it looks like a Fuzzy Lop. It's the cutest thing. So Fuzzy Lops over Holland Lops for me.
What breeds that you previously had would you get again? So breeds that you don't currently have, but you had in the past, maybe during your 4-H days, that you would get would get again, if any.
That's a really good question. I don't know, because like from my past, I kind of want to say Dutch, just because they're so frustrating. But then when you get like the perfect one, it's like the best feeling in the world, like marking wise, because Dutch are kind of up in the air with their markings. You can't really breed for perfect markings. It's just luck of the draw with the litters, right? So like when they have babies, you like as soon as they have babies, you look at all those little newborn babies and see like how straight the lines are and how straight the blazes are, and you can make decisions on like culling right then and there. I didn't. I let them all grow out. But I mean, they're so frustratingly fun to work with. So I do love Dutch. And I would consider them again, but I really like the silver foxes and the bigger commercial breeds for meat purposes. So I don't know. Maybe someday.
All right. We have heard of the flow hive, but we weren't going to pursue it as we figure the type of hive we have is really great for beginners anyway. It's standard.
Yeah, we have, I think it's called a Langstraw.
Yeah.
But flow hive seems like pretty hands off too. But at the same time, we didn't want to invest, like those things are expensive. We didn't want to invest that much money in something that we weren't sure was going to work out, I guess. So, I mean, if we become like super good at this, maybe we'll invest more money in it. But right now we're just trying to like see if it's actually going to work. We've already sunk like a couple $100 into these bees.
Holly says, I would love to know what you're getting for growth rates with your silver fox kits this year. Oh, you would. You would like to know, wouldn't you? Well, it's not a secret, so we'll pretty much tell you probably.
Probably.
What are your adults maxing out at? 50 pounds. May or may not be true.
No, it's not true. So the kits during the summer, it has been so incredibly hot. So I get people that come to me and say that their rabbits are not growing as fast as they should be. And more than likely, guys, if you are in a hot area right now and you have kits, they're not going to grow as fast in the summer. And I mean, they're just not. Sorry, there's like a fruit fly. Just flies in our house. And I don't know why. I don't know how to stop it. But they will grow slower in the summer because nobody wants to eat when it's that hot out. So, I mean, don't be alarmed if you're getting like, I mean, right now, I think I weighed my current litters that I believe they're 8 weeks old today, either today or yesterday. They were 8 weeks old. And they are, I believe the biggest one right now is like 3.5 pounds. But I'm like super impressed with this litter. Like 8 weeks old, 3.5 pounds, that is a-okay with me in the summer. That's a-okay. So don't worry about that. Typically you'll see bigger litter sizes when it's cooler out. So like your winter and your fall breedings, and sometimes your spring breedings as well. So, I mean, you're definitely going to have bigger litter sizes when it's colder out. Right now, nobody wants to eat. It's disgusting outside. It feels like a hot bath every time I step outside.
The chat would concur. Yeah, I really don't. I'm not a big fan of summers anymore. I just feel like in the last 7-8 years, summers have become awful.
I just want to hide away like in the air conditioning. It's not been fun. The last 2 summers have been super humid, and this summer especially has been like so incredibly wet. So like the feeling of just like wet mist out. I don't know.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
I don't like it.
She
drags me out there to work.
I'm looking forward to fall. And I just got like a notification like on the Starbucks app, like literally, I think it was yesterday. It said that pumpkin spice is back. And I literally went to the mall yesterday. I got a pumpkin spice latte. I'm like, I'm so ready for fall right now.
Same. I just keep thinking more and more like, I want it to be a little bit chilly outside. I want to come home and have pumpkin seeds.
Yeah.
And drink cider.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm craving fall.
Starbucks.
I'm so basic. I'm sorry.
I know. I was going to say that too. I told the Starbucks lady, I'm just going to be basic white girl today. But Starbucks, if you guys love Starbucks, I went there yesterday and I see that not only do they have the pumpkin spice cold brew or the pumpkin cream cold brew and the pumpkin spice latte back, but they also have, it's like an apple cider latte type of thing. It's like, I don't know what all is in it, but like she said that the barista there said that, dare she say, it is better than the pumpkin spice latte. So that is on my list next to try.
Bring it with you.
Yeah.
A little bit of a two-parter. A while back, I think I remember it. What is your best rabbit recipe? And I'll go ahead and answer. In what context, my guy?
In what context?
Like, are you craving nachos? I've got the best rabbit meat nachos you'll ever have. They're God's favorite nachos. Are you craving rotisserie rabbit? I've got the best recipe for barbecue rotisserie rabbit ever. It includes Famous Dave's barbecue sauce, by the way.
It's very, very good.
Like, you've got so much. It's a versatile beast.
Yes, it is.
The things that are hardest to make with it are hot dogs and hamburgers. Because it's lean meat. We're just lazy and we don't want to bust out the meat grinder. When you can just have a burger.
Yeah.
You can just have a burger. So best for me, it's got to go to God's favorite nachos.
Yeah, we make barbecue pulled pork nachos. They're not pork, but so basically we'll just make the pulled pork rabbit barbecued and everything. We lay tortilla chips down like on a cookie sheet. We put the rabbit on that, just like in a layer. And we do stuff like cheese, jalapenos. I like jalapenos. He doesn't.
Cream cheese, ranch, corn, black olives,
tomatoes.
Fill it up.
Yeah. Load the nachos up.
Load the nachos. You cannot go wrong with barbecue pulled anything.
Yeah, it's definitely our favorite here for sure, I think.
But then there's the other question. Will you ever have any recipes? And I guess they mean available. And I keep saying Patreon.
So, okay, that is actually something that I have been meaning to talk about, I guess. I don't even know. I don't have my notes out here, but I am thinking about making a Patreon. Because here's the thing. YouTube, while I could show a butchering video on YouTube and get away with it, I wouldn't. It would be monetized for probably max, like, I don't know, a couple days. And it would get demonetized because it is graphic content and YouTube doesn't like that. So my channel would probably be okay, but I don't want to push the limits like that very much. So I'm thinking about starting a Patreon and doing butchering classes on there. So it wouldn't be every single month, but like I'm thinking we would do butchering class for rabbits. Just I'm thinking honestly, guys, like the entire thing, like uncut or I mean, well, maybe depending. I've even thought of like doing a live stream with it, but like I just got to be careful. Like I don't want something to happen and then like I don't know. Like, but I'm really thinking about doing like butchering classes, cooking videos. Like maybe that's one of the things that I do like once a month is like join me and like we'll make dinner together or something like that. Because I really like to cook and it's something I think I'm kind of good at. He's really good at it too. And so like it would be like maybe cooking quail. Like when we get more used to quail, we could show butchering them, but that is something that we are totally new to. It looks fairly simple, but we've never done it before. We've never butchered a bird before. So
apparently it's quite simple.
yeah, it looks pretty simple. So I mean, just a couple of things just a couple of things like that that we might be doing like for Patreon. Also, live streaming tattooing, because I will sit out there for like an hour and tattoo like 10 rabbits. Actually, that might take more than an hour. No, that would probably take around an hour. So like, tattooing, like live streaming, tattooing and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, but also to start a Patreon, I really need to be dedicated to it because people would be paying me monthly and I want to make sure that they get what they're paying for. So
any ideas that you have?
Yeah, any ideas?
What would you pay money for?
Yeah. Any ideas that you guys have? I've been thinking about doing like a monthly photo gallery or like a calendar page or something like that. So yeah, something like that. I don't know.
I've said before, like using like saving your plans, like your blueprints for your hutches would be great for that. But I'm glad that you just make those available, because we had a user, Philip Stewart. He said that they're going to build a rabbit hutch this weekend using your plans.
I love that.
And if you didn't make those accessible, you wouldn't get that kind of joy from knowing that
I do. And I mean,
people are using your stuff.
I definitely, I feel like I could have profited off of my rabbit hutch plans 100%. That video has 170,000 views now, which is insane. To me, anyway. I feel like that's really small to some people, but to me, that's like crazy. So I could have profited off of it, but at the same time, I absolutely love seeing pictures of people's hutches that they built using my plans. I think that's so, like, if you guys were inspired by my video, like, I am super inspired by seeing people like using my stuff, because it validates me, I guess. It's like, oh wow, I did a good thing here. So I really enjoy that, and thank you guys. It means a lot, actually.
Katie says maybe early access to videos.
Yeah, I was actually
I feel like you just kind of post them when they're done, kind of thing.
I do. I pretty much do, but I try to do it during the day. But like, it would be nice, I guess, for Patreon, like early access to videos that might be ad-free. And then once the early access is over, we turn the monetization on, and then it's no longer ad-free. But like for like maybe 2 days, it would be. I don't know. That sounds cool.
Depends on how much you want to pay for convenience.
Yeah.
I don't know. I look at it and I go, I don't know what's worth it. All right. Like people are gonna, viewers here, everybody, you're gonna have you all have different ideas of what you would, pay for to support what we're doing here, and it's just kind of hard to think of things that we haven't done already.
Yeah, I've always like, even having the Ko-Fi, like I do have a Ko-Fi, so like every once in a while I get a donation for like buying me a coffee, which I think is super fun. Like I love Ko-Fi, but at the same time, like opening that for me was like, I don't deserve this. Like I've never wanted to I've seen people like in the past, it really, really frustrates me seeing people just start a GoFundMe and they have like hardly nobody knows them. They think I don't want to say they're entitled to the money, but like just like asking for money to do normal things that they could just get a normal job and like get the money. You know what I mean? So like, I almost feel like I don't really deserve just like people giving me money just because. So I just want to make sure that like if they're paying for Patreon, that they're getting something in return, I guess.
Right. And there's just kind of this idea that I have, just like when we introduce ourselves, we say that we are Tealstone Homestead. I don't feel like when I say it, I mean it, but like I don't get that kind of credit, but I do help.
Yeah, he helps a lot.
I help.
He helps a lot. You guys don't see it a lot of the time.
So really, you're the face of Tealstone Homestead. But when we say we are Tealstone Homestead, we want to include all of you.
Mhm.
I feel that if we were able to get donations like, 5, 10 a month, we will be able to list your names as producers because you are helping to fund and to help produce what we do. And so when we say we are Teal Stone Homestead, we really mean it's all of you who are contributing. So you are part of that family.
Mhm.
And I don't know how much that means to all of you, how much that would, but it would mean a lot to us.
Like to show
For
them
sure.
like at the very end, like thanks to my patrons, and just like show your names
Oh,
on there.
absolutely.
Like, yeah.
But we don't believe in not getting anything in return. So we're still browsing.
I don't love the handout
brain.
idea. Like I like the Ko-Fi. For some reason, that seems more okay to me. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, I don't really want handouts. Like, I don't know. It's really weird. My brain works really, really weird. So
she doesn't feel like she deserves it unless she's putting out something in return.
I've just never, like, the way that I was raised, I always feel like I've got to earn it. Like, I've got to earn,
We think alike.
Yeah. So, but I really do appreciate, even you guys like watching the videos, like watching the ads. I mean, a lot of people skip the ads. I'm pretty sure I still get money just because you saw like 3 seconds of it or whatever. But like even that, like I'm super grateful. So, yeah, this whole YouTube thing, it's been a ride. Like it's been a lot of fun, and I feel like my mindset is like sort of shifting to like, it was like a fun thing, and I said that I was gonna do it, and I said that I could do it, and now I've kind of done it, but at the same time, like I'm not making anywhere near like not even a part-time income. Like, so it's just, but I want to ramp it up. Like I want to keep going. I don't want to stop because I feel like at this point, we just got to keep going with it. So I don't know. We're just like racking our brain for ideas of like how to make this thing kind of more special than it already is, I guess.
So that's where we're at.
Sorry, that was a really long tangent about the Patreon.
But it's a good way to introduce.
Yeah.
I feel like, putting that out there. You could have put it in a video that you're thinking about starting a Patreon, or you can mention it casually in a conversation.
Yeah.
With
I don't really want to make a video.
People that watch.
I don't really want to make a video directly about the Patreon though. I don't know. Maybe in the future.
I mean, if you're going to make a short video saying that we're launching it, I mean, there you go. Yeah. There's like you're cutting the ribbon. Ronan's going nuts up there. We don't know. He sees ghosts. He
goes upstairs and then he looks out the window. Anytime he sees USPS or UPS or FedEx or the Amazon Prime guy, he's not having it.
If he sees the mail, he's gonna wail. Is what that is right there.
Hi.
Hey, buddy. I drank all my orange juice in the first 3 minutes, and I have had nothing for the past 39. Oh, she's cute. She's such a cuddle bug. I love this dog. She's my kind of dog. She favors mommy, but I mean, I get my cuddle time. I think it's because I'm a little rough around the edges with. I like playtime, and
he plays.
I'm
really
more
well.
of a disciplinarian.
He plays really well with Ronan, though. Ronan likes to play.
Oh yeah. Anybody here have a dog, especially with like Rottweilers? I know he's only part probably Rottweiler.
He's supposed to have like an 8. We did wisdom panel on Ronan and Arya, but Ronan's supposed to be a 4th cattle dog, 4th American Staffordshire Terrier, 1/8 Rottweiler, 1/8 Alaskan Malamute, believe it or not. And then I can't remember what the other 4th was. Maybe it was more cattle dog and Amstaff or something like that. But he's mostly like a terrier, I feel like.
Oh, but yeah, did anybody have like a dog like that where it's their breed that makes them make really aggressive sounding noises when you play?
Mm-hmm.
Like I was watching a couple YouTube shorts. This guy has a Rottweiler that just sounds so vicious when it wants to play, but it's really just wanting to play. It's not vicious at all. It's just they're a vocal breed.
Or I think that one video where every time the guy like turns around, his Doberman starts like stalking him. Like
Steven! Steven, stop!
Is his name Steven?
I think it's Steven.
It's so funny. I love it so much.
I was about to ask, what is a Yorker poo? I want one. A
Yorkshire Terrier Poodle.
Yorkshire Terrier, a Yorkie
I
poo.
know my dog breeds.
Yorkie poo.
I know.
She knows her dog breeds.
I know lots of dog breeds.
Yellow Lab.
My favorite breed of dog, guys, you can go look it up because not a lot of people know what it is, but it is called a Belgian Tervuren. And I'm going to have one someday. They require a lot of training because they're very energetic. What does he have, hiccups or something?
He's got the hiccups or something. What is it, buddy? What is it, buddy?
Yeah, he's got hiccups.
Poor thing.
He's cute. Okay. Do we have any more questions? We have 15 minutes left.
Yeah, 15 minutes. So, just going back through, looking for any more questions that we have you ever been to a rabbit show in Texas? I'm going to say no, you have not. I would have known about it.
I have not, but if I go to Texas, I'm getting, I have to get together with Better Together Life because I love them. They are awesome. And I was invited to their garden, but not their house though, just the garden tour. But I really, really want to get together with them. They're awesome people.
Okay. Somebody says, Creek Rabbitry. Yes, I love the tractor idea. When we move into our house, I will definitely consider building some of those. Yes, the tractors have been proven quite handy.
The rabbit tractors?
Yes.
I love the rabbit tractors. But we've had to put them up on the stands this year because, like I said, it's just been like a super wet summer and we don't want coccidiosis. So they're up on the stands and they're going to stay that way probably until next year. So
Gabrielle asks, first dibs on breeder sales. I'll tell you something. Teal Stone Homestead rabbits are like PS5s right now.
They kind of are.
They are so short in supply and so high in demand. It's kind of ridiculous. I should know and how that feels because I have been trying to get a PS5 since last November. I'm sure some people on your list have been trying to get a rabbit since last November.
The thing about the wait list, and honestly, like I've toyed around with like, do I even want to do a wait list anymore? Because even if you're on the email list, it's not really a wait list anymore, guys. It's become like more of an email alert list. So they are first come, first serve. And it's the best way that I know how to do it because at the end of the day, like, yes, we do sell some really nice breeders, but also we need meat rabbits because that's why they're here.
We're hungry.
So
man's got to eat.
So they are, I mean, I can never guarantee somebody a rabbit. And the only ones that I really like to work with like closely are my close like 4-H families. Like I have 2 4-H families that I like work with closely here locally. And then I also have a couple of friends in Ohio. So I mean, like I like to give first dibs to those people. And then after that, like the wait list gets to know, but like I won't send out an email unless I have like several unrelated rabbits or line bred rabbits ready to go. So it's tricky to know what to do with that. They are living things, so I have to like be mindful of like, you know, where are they going, like who are they going to? And so it's just, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to do with live animals to do the email list. So we'll figure it out someday, maybe.
Thinking we got some more questions here. Will you ever come to Pennsylvania? I'm sure someday.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I was really close to Pennsylvania when I went to Canton.
I think last time I was in Pennsylvania, it was for the Legend of Zelda Symphony Orchestra.
I don't really have a reason to be in Pennsylvania, but I mean, like say like convention is there like next year or something, which it's probably not going to be. But if it was, yes, I would come to Pennsylvania.
Get a truck and
I have nothing against Pennsylvania. Just don't really have a reason to be there right now.
Okay. I'm just looking through. Teal would love to see cooking and recipe videos, understanding not showing the butchering process on YouTube completely. Yep, you get what you're about. Although be warned, if we do put that content, if you're not used to seeing that,
what, butchering?
The butchering process, you may be tempted to look at us a little bit differently.
It's
it's raw, uncut,
we're in the market.
unfiltered.
I mean, we're in the market of producing our own food. It's not like we're abusing the animals.
It's not something that you typically see.
It
So just be warned.
And I mean, they've seen butchering videos, I'm sure, like on YouTube, like, but you know, like killing a living thing is never easy, right? So, I mean, but we're as quick as we can be, and we're as nice and calming about it as we can be. So, but yeah, I mean, it's never easy to do. But I mean, we could definitely teach people how to do it for sure. So.
All right, Lexi, which country do you live in? US of A, baby. Yep.
The one below Canada. Because we had that whole debacle last live stream. For anybody wondering, Jameson and I went to Canada 2 years ago.
Was that 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm. Was it?
I say the flying, the airport was the worst experience.
Oh my gosh, we got our
got
flight
stuck in New Jersey.
Like back in.
That's the last place you want to be stuck at for 12 hours.
We went to Banff and we camped there, and it was fun, but it was also very cold. But the most fun part about it, I think, was meeting up with friends. And then on our way home, we had was it 3 connecting flights?
3 connecting flights.
I'm so sorry. Like I'm like the budget seeker.
Oh my god.
But never again will I choose
3 connecting
never again will I do that, despite what it cost. Because basically one of our flights was late coming back. So naturally we missed our connecting flight, and we just kind of got stuck there for how long?
12 like overnight until like 10 in the morning.
Yeah. It was
like 12, 13 hours. It was
I was having like a full-blown panic attack. Like, I do not remember the last time I had like a full-blown panic attack like that. It was the worst experience ever. I thought we were like never getting home because like we didn't even know where our bags were or anything. Like, it was just a mess. It was a disaster.
Woo! But yeah, Gold Wolf says, I'd love to meet you guys. That means a lot, especially because I know you'd love to meet her. But when you say you guys, just like someone wants to meet. Did you hear that? They want to meet me.
Yeah, it's very cool.
As in us.
I've met a lot of people. I mean, last time I went to a show, I believe there were 2 people that had watched my YouTube channel that I met. And I was like, oh, this is so weird. Like, and honestly, guys, if you meet me in real life, prepared to just be awkwarded out, because I'm good like doing this because I'm home right now. So I'm such an introvert though, and I'm super bad at like remembering names or like remembering I don't know. I'm really, really bad about I love talking about rabbits though. I do. So I love talking about anything animal, so that definitely helps, but I'm definitely an introvert and I'm not good at meeting people. So I'm trying to get better about that.
Is it okay to ask a breeder if they would be willing to breed their buck to your doe at a show, or is that rude? How much would that cost? There are so many one-night stands happening between rabbits at shows.
But I mean, okay, so if you kind of have to get into a circle, basically, because if somebody were to come up to me at a show and ask if they could breed their rabbit to one of my bucks, I would say no.
It's like, I don't know you. Take me out to dinner first.
Well, I would say no, because it's not because I want to be rude or anything like that, or it's not that I don't want to share my genes. Like, believe me, Sprig wants to get around. Like, he loves the ladies. But it's not that though. It's that rabbits actually can carry like many diseases, like vent disease. There's RHD. There's just so many things like Pasteurella that can be transmitted to rabbits, and rabbits are so fragile. So if I don't know you personally or the conditions or like anything like that, then I'm going to say no. Like, there's only a couple of people that I trust to stud my rabbits to. So, you know, you got to go to the shows, meet people, you know, get to know people within your breed. And then maybe, yes. But you can't just go up, you probably can't just go up to somebody and ask them for that. I don't know. It just doesn't really happen, I guess. Rabbits just they carry too many diseases. Don't want that passed around here.
How much do you generally sell your rabbits for, especially the proven does? Okay, because I was about to say, what's the cost per pound when you sell them to eat? But
No.
the ones that have proven themselves.
Well, it depends on if they have legs, really. Like if they've been to shows and have won legs from shows, then they're going to be more. So I can't remember how much I sold Solstice for. I think I sold Solstice for $75. I think it was 70 actually, maybe. But she had a leg from showing. So she had won like either best of breed or best opposite at some point. And I wanted to make sure that, when I sold her, I wanted to make back my money that I had made, like that I had spent like from showing her. So that's the reason for that. But my juniors typically go right now. It's always subject to change, but right at this very moment, they usually go for $60. And that's just a junior that has never shown before. A proven doe that has no legs from showing usually goes for 60 to 70, depending on quality. And bucks, again, it just depends on legs again. So, but yeah, it's usually around there. I have a granded rabbit right now, and he's going to be selling for I think $125. But he's granded, so that's the reason for that. But I'm not ready to sell him yet, but that's how much that he will be going for.
Lori, who joined like 5-6 minutes ago, almost 7. Hey, just joining. Sorry, these have already been asked. This one has not. But when you travel to a rabbit show far away, do you bring the rabbits into a hotel with you overnight? Not into the hotel, I don't think. You just drop them off at the show.
Yeah, some shows will allow you. You got to watch like for times and stuff, but like sometimes they'll allow you to come early. Like if your show's on a Saturday, they'll allow you to come early on Friday or something usually before like 8 or 9 p.m. and like drop them off at the show. And then you can go to your hotel. I did that when I went to Canton. So that's just now we're getting the mail.
Just now, it's 7, my guy.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, let's see.
If you have like one pet rabbit though, I'd definitely sneak that into a hotel.
Let's see. I got 2 shout outs from LA earlier. So hello from LA. What is it like 4 p.m. your time? What are you like 3 hours behind? Maybe 4?
You guys can see like how it's getting dark here already. You
watching at work?
I would be. No, I'm just kidding.
Are you going to convention?
I am going to convention. So that's one thing I was going to actually mention, but so Edge, I was going to mention this, I guess, in my next vlog, but I figured it might be easier to mention here. Unfortunately, we lost Edge. He fractured or dislocated, or I want to say he severed one of his...
bumped his head real bad, and it severed part of his spine, and he was...
It was the back
disabled,
portion.
like limping around.
We were trying to wait and see that if it would heal, but it never did. And so unfortunately we lost Edge. So he was going to be my intermediate buck at convention, and I don't have him anymore. So we lost the little doe to what I'm assuming is bloat now, not necessarily GI stasis. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was bloat, but we lost her, and then we lost Edge, and just for some reason this litter does not want to live. So I will be at convention though, and I will have many juniors with me. So I'm expecting to hear the word promising at least 50 times.
Would you ever consider breeding a non-meat breed?
Yep, I talked about that before, and someday I will have American Fuzzy Lops. Someday I'll have a barn, guys.
Sounds promising.
Someday when we move, I plan on having a big concrete slab poured, and then doing everything from there, like creating like the biggest, most awesome like climate controlled rabbit shed that you have ever seen. Someday it's going to happen, but it's going to be a couple of years down the line at least. And lion heads, I love lion heads. They're so cute. I saw that somebody said lion heads.
Lion heads, yeah. Someone just said lion heads. Whew. Okay, so we got channel name XTV producer giving us a lot of tips on Patreon. We'll read up on those later.
Yeah, thank you.
What city in Indiana do y'all live in? Fortuan?
Fort Wayne.
Fortuan?
The second
Indiana.
The second largest city in Indiana.
Let's see. Lexi says I woke up at 7, which is pretty early, so I can watch it. Brandon Jameson, love your videos on your channel as well. You do great playing. Oh, thank you, Brandon.
You guys he's way too hard on himself.
I am. It's why I almost just never post. I just a lot of creators have the same problem I do, where they don't feel like their ideas or their talent is good enough. And typically it just means that it's not good enough for the person making it. So,
you know what you guys need to do now? After this is over, which is very, very shortly, actually, probably now, you need to go over to his channel, which is One Man Jam, all one word, and send him some love. Even if it's just a comment or a like.
How about you just go watch my Dream On cover from Aerosmith and tell me if I have any shot of making any of this my career in the future. So if you like Aerosmith, you're either gonna love it or hate it.
Yep.
Wow,
is.
We have gone over an hour.
It is 7. I am going to go make Alfredo.
She's gonna make Alfredo.
Pasta and mushrooms and peppers and Alfredo sauce.
Because ironically, we don't have enough rabbit meat.
No, we do. We just don't have it thawed out. So
so it's just one of those.
It's just one of those. So anyway, yeah, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. It's been a fun live stream, and I feel like we finally have decent video and audio. So I'm really happy about that. We'll do this again soon. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining, everybody.
Bye,
Have a great night.
guys.